Welcome to the MFR Coaches podcast, where we talk about how you can create a six-figure MFR practice. I'm your host, Heather Hommel. Not only have I been practicing MFR for 11 years, I'm also a life and business coach, especially for MFR therapists. My goal is for you to understand how to get fully booked, how to talk to your clients, and how to make sure they understand what's possible for them with MFR treatment. I'm here to help you stop under-earning, overworking, and burning out. I'll lend support so you can create the MFR practice you've always wanted. Learn how you can do it too, even if you live in a tiny town, and even if you're just starting out, and even if you've ran your practice for years. Let's go. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the MFR Coaches podcast. Today's episode is going to be like no other episode because three of my clients, Donna Height, Leslie Muller, and Sara Martin, took over the podcast while I was out of town and recorded some special episodes just for you. So listen in today as they talk about everything from how they created their businesses to how they found coaching, what it was like to take breaks from coaching, and where their businesses are going now. It's a really fun conversation between the three of these ladies. And I think at one point they forget that they're even being recorded. So listen in and get all the juicy details that they share with you today. Enjoy.
All right. So we're here today. Heather has been out of the office. And so we're taking over the MFR Coaches podcast. So today, Donna, myself, and Leslie are here. And we are going to be answering round robin and questions and just having generally a good time. So why don't we start off? And it's a good time.
It is a good time. Whether you want to or not, you'll have a good time.
Have a good time. So Leslie, I'm putting you on the spotlight. And first off, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, where you're at, and where you can be found?
Okay. So I'm Leslie Muller. I am in the Richmond, Virginia area in Hanover, which is a little north of Richmond, which doesn't mean anything to anyone unless they live here or have been here. So Richmond, Virginia in the South, and to all the Southerners, it actually is the South, but I get arguments with that all the time. But anyhow, I digress. Resonance Myofascial Release is my business. I have a practice out of my home, and you can find me. My website is resonancemyofascialrelease.com. Soon you might be able to find me on Facebook and Instagram. I have not been very active there. I have accounts, but I haven't been active. But yes, you can find me in the treatment room or walking the dog.
Nice.
And I think she'll hear this. So I totally loved her podcast interview with Heather.
It was so good.
So much from it.
It was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I love that she was listening to it and she was gaining information about how to run her business. Yeah. So I'm going to digress a little bit. It really just shows how coaching is good for everything, all facets.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. Okay, Miss Donna.
Yes.
Would you please let us know where you're at, where to find you, and what we can do when we get there?
My name is Donna Height. I am in Austin, Texas. That's where my business is. And it is called Trinity Myofascial Release. And the website is www. That means World Wide Web for all you young folk that don't know what that means. TrinityMFR.com.
Thank you.
I'm here to help. And you can find me at work or you can find me in the car because my drive to work is an hour and a half. So I spend 3 hours in the car every day. So there is a business sticker on the back of my car. So if you see me, give me a little beep, beep, and I'll say hi to you.
Do you live out in the country, Donna? Is that why it's an hour and a half drive?
I do.
Okay.
I live out in the middle of nowhere. Sarah's been there. She can attest.
There's so many cows.
Yeah.
Nice.
We have cows. Yes, we have cows.
But you could go naked in your back or front yard and no one's going to see.
I mean, absolutely.
The cows and deer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the cows, deer, snakes, and all the other animals. I don't know if they would care.
Are there coyotes there? Okay. Yeah.
Yes, there is. Yeah. So, Sara, why don't you tell us about yourself and where to find you?
Okay. Well, thank you. I am, ma'am, I am in San Antonio, Texas. My business is called Fire Rainbow Myofascial Release. Sometimes I say that really fast and people are like, I'm sorry, what? And My office location is 8400 Blanco Road, by appointment only. So don't just show up. And my website is, I write, firerainbowmfr.com. And that is also, those are also my handles on both Facebook and Instagram. Welcome to come and friend or like me. I don't do a lot of activity on either of those. I'm just not a media person. Social media, not media. I like media, but social media is not my forte. But I digress, and I'm getting ahead of myself.
At least you digress on a
I
topic.
post daily on my socials. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. So,
Your posts are great too.
And you're amazing because you have, okay, we're just, this Donna has followed directions immensely in this area. Like Heather said, do these things.
Yeah.
Donna has done this. She went in, she's created the posts. She has organized them by, every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And so the whole month is done. And then whatever the program is, just repeats them for the rest until eternity, until she says, stop it.
Yeah.
And so that's why those posts are going.
Yeah. The couple of days before the next month, I spend an hour getting the entire month post done, and they're done. And the system does it for me.
You don't use Facebook, the Meta business thingy bobber. No, okay.
No, I use a little beauty named Loomly. It's Loomly. And so it just posts for me. So.
Oh, Loomly. All right.
It's worth the $35, so I don't have to think about it but one time every month, and then I'm done. So
brilliant.
It's literally the only reason why I post. Otherwise, it wouldn't get done.
Note to self. Brilliant. Loomly.
Note to self, be brilliant.
Or actually, check out Loomly. But speaking of social, well, this is not quite social, but I just remember this, Sarah, way back when I first started coaching, which was July of 22. Your name must have come. I don't know how it came, but I looked at your website and I was like, damn, that website is so cool. I have always loved your website.
Oh, thank you.
It was the name and the image. I was like, this site is fire, and just the utter simplicity of it.
Was it the one where it was in the cave, or was it the one that's now across just a rainbow in the sky? Because I've shifted them.
Rainbow in the sky, I believe. I don't think I remember a cave. Okay. I don't think I saw that.
The cave one was pretty dark, but okay.
I remember the cave one. I remember the cave one.
Yeah, I've had a couple people who found me and were like, I'm here because of the fire rainbow. Whatever that is, like where, how, and what. And I'm like, it's come in.
People always find me and they're like, so are you religious? And I'm like, no.
Oh, no. Mm-hmm.
No, that's just not why I named it Trinity.
Also a great name.
Yeah. Like I'm just a big Matrix fan, so I'm kidding.
Oh, is that why? Is that why? No, okay. I didn't think so.
I love it. Why did you pick resonance, by the way?
Because what John said, we're doing confession when we're, really present with the client. What's really happening is we're achieving resonance, and it just stuck with me. And it was like December. It was around when I met you guys in person at Advanced
Unwinding. Yeah,
but and I was there for the whole seminar series, and I'd gotten sick. And all that. Anyways, it just came to me one day. I'm like, that's what I want the name to be. Because before I just went by Leslie Muller Myofascial Release because I wasn't sure about a name. And I had thought before maybe Richmond Myofascial Release or Myofascial Release Richmond. I'm glad I didn't choose that because when resonance hit, I'm like, yeah, that's it. So on the 1st of this year, I changed the name and such.
That's so awesome.
Resonated
on what resonated? You mean Renaissance?
It resonated for you?
Oh, yes, it resonated with me. It did. It resonated with me.
One might say it resonated. I love it.
Leslie, would you like to kick us off with our...
Okay, I will do that. So in our round robin, I'll start with you first, Sarah. How old is your business?
Fire Rainbow is currently 2-ish years old. She enjoys long walks on the beach, and it has actually right now I am scheduled out through September 16th. I just filled my September 16th appointment, and now so I'm scheduled out. So after that, like, be ready. It's getting crazy over here. Well, it's getting busy, which I love.
Yeah.
Why the laughing?
I love it.
So
Good. That's good stuff.
how about you, Donna?
Business.
So I'm about the same thing. I just celebrated my 2-year anniversary in July. So yeah, I think it was like July 21st. She also enjoys long walks on the beach. Ended with a crab dinner somewhere.
Yeah.
It would be great.
Always delicious.
Yeah, and I'm
crab dinner or crab?
crabs. I want you to give me crabs, but I like to eat crabs.
No. Yeah.
Anyway, it's good stuff. Yeah. So about 2 years. Yeah. And it's been a whirlwind of all the things. I'm booked out about into the first week of October at this point. So that's always good. Yeah, that's always good. What about you, Miss Leslie?
I think January of 2021 is when I started, but like I wasn't doing anything. Does it count? So yeah, it counts. But like I didn't do anything to let anyone know I was here, like nothing at all. So in my mind, I think more of January of 22 because but anyways, it's like 2.5 years, January of 21. Yeah, that's how old the business is. And nothing really started moving till I started coaching.
Okay.
Yeah, I completely feel that. But so I mean, it's kind of like we're all kind of like toddlers.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, we're kind of in the toddler phase of business owning, and that's always fun. So that's really cool.
Let's talk about the impact of all MFR therapists being 6-figure earners. MFR therapists who decide they want more and do the work to help more clients are changing their communities. They help their clients get out of pain for longer and back to active lifestyles. Every day, I help MFR therapists to raise their rates, overcome objections, and sell MFR with confidence and in an empowered way. When you have these 3 skills, you become fully booked, you make more money, and you're able to enjoy your life outside of work even more. And you can afford things like more treatment for yourself and more vacations for your family. And who doesn't want that? Right now, the doors are open to join us inside the MFR Coaches 12-month Business Foundation program. Join now and start your 90-day journey through the foundation modules. Join our weekly live coaching calls and fast track your way through any confusion or questions that you have about your MFR business. With over 50 current members, you can enjoy a supportive community inside our Facebook group where me and my team are just a tag away to support you and answer any questions. When you join by November 15th, you not only get the last opportunity to enroll in 2023, but I'll be mailing you out a copy of the workbook. Inside the workbook, you'll find guidance on your next steps so you are never overwhelmed as you create a business that you love. One other special bonus when you enroll November 1st through 15th is the option to make 3 payments at no additional cost to you. So take advantage of this easy payment plan and get started now. Doors close November 15th. Go to www.themfrcoach.com/coaching. There's a link in the show notes. Terms and conditions apply.
So talking about coaching, what do you feel like your main problem was before you started coaching? Before you found Heather and before you started coaching, like what do you feel was like your main business problem or even personal problem? But what do you feel like was your main problem before you started coaching?
As I was thinking back on this, it was like I'm going to read what I wrote and then I'm going to say other words because, in real time, it can be different. So building a business that was able to pay for itself and for my life. Also, to begin with, I didn't even know that's what I was wanting. All I wanted was to do MFR. Like, that's it. And I had no game plan. I had no thought about social media. Like, I just didn't know, zero things that I knew. And then I got MFR. Well, I knew some basics of what I thought. I thought I was supposed to be doing A, B, and C. And so then I got Heather's book and I read it and I love telling her this. I'm like, I read your book. And then I'm like, I can do everything on my own. And I put it away and I didn't do anything.
Right.
I thought about it. I was like, oh no, I am good.
I'm the expert now.
Yeah. People could ask me questions and I can answer them. Yes.
Awesome.
So I didn't think of it as a problem. I just knew that I needed help across the board.
Yeah.
Because there's also that monetary space in there too, right? Because I feel like when we start out doing business, we don't always see the big picture of, it's always like, oh, well, I can make enough money to pay rent at a space. And that's great. We don't see the bigger picture of, I would actually like this to pay for my living.
Well, so
so true.
I had to, because I mean, I'm not a single lady. I do have a partner, but that partner do not combine any type of income together.
Right.
We have our completely separate lives. So I didn't have somebody living in my household who was like, don't worry, babe, it's okay. I don't know. Maybe I don't know how husbands and wives do whatever people do within their households. My house.
I had one of those and I didn't get that either. So
yeah, right. My dog was like, I will still want to eat.
Yes.
Just FYI. So I had to figure out how to create an income that paid for all my bills and my dog's nail grinding because she needs her nails done, and also pay for my business at the same time. I mean, if that's where I was, and I was like, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to create that. I didn't know how to. I'm like, that was a lot.
Miss Leslie, what do you think your main problem was before coaching?
So many things, but a lot of what you said, Sara, that was me too. And not knowing, I didn't even know what I didn't know. And it was also sort of like, oh, well, maybe I can make some money to pay rent. This was before I decided to have the practice in the home space. And so I will say though, so I'm married and my husband's income can cover everything. It's definitely, if I'm not contributing, it's a bone of contention for us. But as a stay-at-home mom when my son was little and then gradually back to work. But because I didn't have to do it, it kept me small. That's my fault. I own that. And so I had to get to where I was like, holy shit, I cannot take this anymore. I need money, actual money. I need to work and have money as if I was single, kind of. So getting to that. So my whole point basically was sometimes it can be crippling. And the reason I think it was crippling for me is because I was afraid of taking action. That was what I have written down was my biggest problem before coaching. I was afraid of everything. And it comes up in old coaching calls. And I think you touched on this when you asked the question, Donna. Coaching so transfers into our personal life so much. There's no separation for me anyways, because everything in the beginning, especially when it was like, okay, I should do this, or I will do this, or I want this, I had to deal with the feelings of fear and I can't do this and what's the thoughts behind it and the feelings, and it's all tied in with my personal life. And what I realized it came down to is this overarching feeling I don't belong, this is not for me. It's for y'all to go make money, but I can't make money. People that if I make money, I am morally corrupt and a bad person if I make money. Yeah, it is a lot. And so I don't know, I couldn't narrow it down to one main problem. I read her book also. I did used to have that cheap mentality of everything was DIY. And if I can just do, I'll just read how to do it and do it. I can't do everything myself. I just can't. And I think I learned that the most in coaching, how worthwhile it is to invest in yourself that way.
Nice.
That investment was absolutely what I needed. So if I had not, and I knew about Heather for a while before I finally got the gumption to find out how much coaching costs. I knew about her, and back when she would do a consultation call or doing one-on-one, I didn't even call her to see how much it cost. I just assumed I can't afford it. So everything was just a big, not for me. I can't, I'm scared and I don't belong. Those were my biggest things. And that it was in everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey, Donna, can I jump in here super fast? Something that Leslie said, you were saying, coaching does cross over. So for me, that first year from one-on-one coaching, even into the group coaching, I honestly don't think I coached a lot on business. I coached a lot on like personal stuff. And when yes, coach on your business, but like Heather coached me on going to the DMV because I was afraid to go to the DMV because there's no reason, but I was like, they're going to come and arrest me for some reason. Like I just had such a fear about it. And Heather loves to remember when I coached you about going to the DMV, and I'm like, yes, do it. I can go on my own now.
Right. That's the thing. Like, right. They don't teach you in any kind of life school that when you're going to be an entrepreneur, right? Like when you start out and you're your own business and you have your own thing, like it is you. It's you as a person and it's you going into the thing. Like, so you've got to clean both sides of the fence. That's business and personal, right? Yeah. They all go in together. So, yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
How about you, Donna?
My main thing, like before coaching, was like I knew I wanted to be successful and I knew that I wanted to be fully booked, but I didn't ever believe that I could be, or that I deserved to be, or that I was going to be good enough to be fully booked, or like I saw these huge grand ideas of what I wanted the business to be, but I didn't connect the two of feeling like I deserved it and was worthy of having that kind of business. So I always felt like, oh, I'm just going to struggle forever. I'm going to be on the struggle bus, hoping and wishing and wanting to be fully booked, but never feeling like I was able to be fully booked or, that kind of thing. And I too had read Heather's book. I got it on the Kindle version. I read the book. I got the Kindle version. I started listening to her podcast and I was like, oh yeah, I pulled a Sara. I was like, oh, I got it. I got it. Also because, I was the breadwinner for a really long time in my family. And so at that point in our lives, I was depending on my husband to pay for the majority of the things. And that was personally really weird for me and hard for me. And knowing that I couldn't just go, oh yeah, let me pay for coaching. No problem. I have that somewhere in all of my funds, right? I didn't have any funds. When I first started out, right? So having to go to him and be like, hey, I want to do this thing because I know it's going to help me succeed. That was one of the most uncomfortable things I've ever had to go through, was asking someone else if we could spend money.
Yeah.
And that was absolutely odd for me. So yeah, but it was mainly just that uncomfortableness of feeling like I wanted to be so good and I wanted to be booked, but I didn't ever feel like I actually deserved to be booked. And I guess it's kind of like what you said, Leslie, of just being seen and putting yourself out there and all of that kind of stuff it was overwhelming for me. So yeah.
It's overwhelming to be seen. It can be. Like I was hiding my whole life, that when I first started receiving MFR 12 years ago, was forefront right in the beginning. Like, oh, you don't want to be seen. And you got to be seen as a business owner.
But I feel like it's two different things, like being seen and the way that I perceived what being seen meant.
Oh,
yeah.
I feel like those are two different things. Yeah, I feel like it's more exposed. Being exposed.
I can see that.
Because now I can Google myself. For the longest time, I couldn't Google myself because, I could, but I wouldn't show up. There's hundreds of thousands of Saras out there without H's, and with my last name Martin.
Yeah.
Like there's it's like the Smiths of the world. Like we're everywhere. So what did you all resolve during your coaching? And can we do this really fast? Like also what coaching did we do? How long were we in coaching? And are we in coaching now?
I'll start with that. So I think I was one of Heather's very last one-on-one clients that she took. I don't remember when I started. When did our group coaching start, Sara, that we met in? Was it
2022? 2021?
No, it was the very end of 2021. Yeah. So I started with her like July, August of 2021. And I did like a 3-month program, I guess, or is it 6 weeks with her? When you did the one-on-one, I think it was 6 weeks.
Okay.
So I did that, and that bled into the very first group coaching that she did. And I did that. And that was 3 months? I think it was 3 months. And then I took a nice long break. I think I took like a 6 to 9 month break, came back for another group coaching and did that 3-month program, which is where I met Miss Leslie. And then we all met in person, which was magical. And then taking a small break now, and I have just signed up for Heather's mastermind.
Yes.
So I'll be in Heather's mastermind, which starts in October. I'm looking really forward to that. I know that is going to be beyond epic. And I'm also in the 12-month program right now, which started at the first of this month, I believe, right? Was it the 1st of August? Yeah. So, and that's a full 12-month program, which is her first 12-month program that she's just started, which is amazing. So I'm really looking forward to that. We're only a couple of weeks in, and it's already like mind blowing. So yeah.
I got coached today and you guys missed it.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I had to be at the dentist.
I have like a favorite client. That's her standing appointment is during that time. But I love the replays.
That's okay. It was pretty good.
I'll watch it for a replay too.
Yeah, July of 2022, I joined that group, and I actually did 3 rounds. So July of 22, November of 22, and then January or February of this year. And I'm really glad I did those 3 rounds. And I told Heather at the end, I was like, I have birthed the baby now. I'm taking a break. I am done for a while. And it's funny. So like when I went to do the first round, I talked to my husband about it. And we agreed. I mean, I was paying for it still, but it was like run everything by him. The second round, I just told him, hey, I'm going to do it again. And then the third round, I was like, I think he asked about it. I was like, oh yeah, I joined up again and started again. I didn't even like tell him. When I'm also in the mastermind group. So the break has been fantastic. For me, I needed like the breather, but I've also missed when my mind went crazy. I miss coaching. So I'm doing the mastermind that is in October. And if I ever feel bad about myself, I just think I was invited to apply to the mastermind.
Yeah.
And, it also means that I'm in the 12-month program. I did, early enrollment. So in that when it started, which is really fantastic. And honestly, it is flipping amazing to me that she is offering that for that price for a whole year, because what I didn't quite realize before is how intense a container 12 weeks is.
Oh yeah.
And you can have, and now the calls are, once a week. You can work it as intensely or not as, but I feel like she's like, every time coaching, I could see the coaching level up, like every time. And this, I was like, this coaching is fire. So I'm really excited about it for myself, but also for all the people that haven't done coaching before to have like a whole year. Yeah, it's amazing. And I'm nervous about that. Sorry, that's Sadie barking. I'm nervous about the October group, the mastermind group. Because I'm like, I don't know what the next level is in my business. I don't yet. It's okay.
I'm super excited about this 12-month also because anybody can sign up anytime, which I love. So I'm like, who's going to come in? Who's going to come in?
Yeah.
Like I'm so excited for like people to trickle in over the 12 months. Yeah. I'm pretty excited about that too. So that it's not just, the 12-week container was amazing because you kind of become like this, like you go through war with each other. You get in this 12-week like hardcore thing, but I'm excited about the 12 months because of people that are going to come in and join and at all different times and stuff. So I'm kind of excited about that too.
Yeah.
Hey, Donna, did you answer what do you feel like you resolved in the time that you were coaching? And then you, Leslie.
One, I would say mainly one thing that I suck at a lot in my life is asking for help.
Oh.
And so I really feel like the coaching container taught me to ask for help is okay.
Yeah.
And also like whatever you're asking for help on, it doesn't matter, business, personal, whatever, it's all okay to ask. That's a huge thing with me about, my growing up experience. It wasn't okay to ask for help because you just had to be perfect all the time. And so that's a huge thing of mine is feeling like I have to be perfect and there is no subpar in my life. So I was never really taught that that was okay. And so having that container of seeing other people asking for help And also just understanding that I could ask for help and get it and receive it was huge for me. And I think along with that, then came everything else that I needed help on. But the prevalent part for me was just knowing, hey, you can ask for help and that doesn't mean you failed. You haven't broken anything. Nothing's wrong. Like, just ask for help. And there is always going to be someone there to answer and to help. So that was huge for me.
That is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What you got, Sara?
Leslie, what'd you get out of your group?
Oh, yeah. I think from that from that 9-month pregnancy is I really took ownership of, being an MFR therapist, because I feel like it's my purpose and I feel like it's a gift that I have to give. So I moved from, I wish I could do that, or I know I'm good, but no one else knows I'm good. Like, just being so not assertive about it. But I realized I had to just be it. Like, I had to move into the being versus trying and doing, but just being.
Oh, yeah.
But it was the taking ownership. And I can actually kind of remember when one day I was really making decisions and thinking from like, I am an MFR therapist, and everything shifted and changed. And that's when I started getting booked. And that didn't come with a change in social media posting or anything like that. But yeah, it was the ownership of like, this is who I am. This is what I do, which is not hiding anymore too.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, that was huge.
Huge. That's awesome.
That is huge. So let's see here. I started MFR coaching in May of 2021, and I went through, I think, April of 2022 at that group coaching. So I did one-on-one, and then I did 2 rounds of group. And so that was a year. Yeah. I did a year of coaching.
So you had a baby and a half.
Baby and a half. In
the 4th trimester.
It's the one they don't tell you about.
Uh-huh.
Oh. And during that time, I really felt like I was rebuilding my self-esteem, which I did not realize had been so crushed. Like, I just didn't realize it. It was nice to be able to be in a space that I felt really safe and comfortable. I think it's obvious by if anybody listens to the replays that I did coaching on. So yeah, I was able to really look at my thinking in a different way. And so much so that I joined the life coach school, the certification program, and now I'm a certified life coach.
That's quite an accomplishment too. That's awesome. Congrats.
Thanks. That also took a year because you learn a lot about yourself and how all of the thinkings. So yeah, and that's me.
Give yourself a little bit bigger pat on the back for that, by the way, because it's amazing. And I saw a lot of what you did for that, and it's nothing short of amazing. So super proud of you.
You had to dig deep. Just from like, I listened to Brooke's podcast and some other podcasts and just kind of paying attention. Like, I know it's not just a walk in the park. You're not phoning it in with that stuff.
Yeah, you can't. You could, but it doesn't really do anything. Like, you don't get anything out of it, and you get a lot of feedback about it.
Feedback is good.
I took it all in stride.
Okay, so I have a question. So in between the times of coaching, so like, tell us how long you've had in between each coaching session and how that time went when you weren't being coached, and what the ups and downs were of those times in between each coaching session. If you've had any, how long was that break in coaching, and what was it like not getting coached, and all that kind of stuff.
I'll go again.
Go.
I think it was 3 months that I went without coaching, and then I joined the life coach school.
And so what do you feel like your downs were, and like, what did it feel like not getting coached? And then what did it feel like? Because I know you didn't go right back into coaching, but what was it like then going to the coaching school then after a break?
I was still coaching myself, but it's so different than having somebody else be able to look at your thoughts for you because of the not the sneakiness of them or the thought, or just having a different perspective on the thoughts. I feel like I 100% lost my train of thought, and that's okay. But so going into the CCP program, the certification program, I just immediately started because they also have 20-minute one-on-one sessions. So I did all the coaching things and I got coached during that program as well. So I was getting regular coaching.
But were they as good as Heather?
They were different.
Yeah, they were probably all different.
Yeah, because I never had the same coach. It was always so. That's another thing is like it's different coaches, and so I love the consistency of working with Heather. I love the consistency of working with the same coach just over and over and over, because it's also you build up a rapport, and they see your patterns, and then you get to see your patterns or they will just show them to you if you're not willing to see them.
Can I jump in and tell a quick story on that?
100%.
When Heather had an alumni coaching call, and that was when she told us about the new offers, about the 12-month program and about the mastermind. I think I knew already, maybe an email, who knows. We have the call and I was like, look, I don't know if it's for me because I don't even know if I'm more than 100,000 or what my goals are. And she just looked at me. She's like, don't you think that's just your thoughts that always comes up, that it's for everyone else and not for you? Mm-hmm. It was an instant. And I was like, boom, that's exactly it. And it was like, I was like, okay, got it done. Good. It was like instantaneous because she knew me. Mm-hmm. And the patterns.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what do you feel like your times in between coaching, how do you feel like those went, Leslie?
It was about 3 months. So I did the February group of this year, and it actually went pretty well. So I was still rehabbing my body back up to like a full work week. Like I had this nerve pain down my left arm. So I was easing back into that. I liked the break of it. But what I noticed is I started getting squirrely in my thoughts. I tend to spiral into negative thinking or think the worst thing. Think the worst thing about someone else, or think they're thinking poorly about me. And I did miss it for that. Like I knew I wasn't like, I need a coach so I can do a social media post or so I can make a decision about my schedule or something. I understand that, but it was like, oh God, these really uncomfortable thoughts are coming up and this is flipping hard. So that was the challenge. Now, if it had been longer, I think I would have there would be more roadblocks. When I left, I knew I would come back. I didn't know when I would come back. And I feel like I'm easing back into it now, being able to be in the Facebook group, but I can't do the calls live, or I could, but I'm not going to change my schedule because the replays are good. So I feel like it's a nice kind of easing in, but the time between, it was good. And it also just showed me the benefit of having someone else be a guide or I don't know, help you manage your mind. Cause my mind gets really unmanaged. That's what it comes down to. It gets just unmanaged. And when it's managed and when I'm clear in my decisions, then I can do the harder things and everything else kind of falls into place. And if it's difficult, I can, no one dies. I can make it through it. And that's it in a nutshell.
But did you die?
Didn't die.
I would need to go look back and see. I can't remember if my time in between group and my next group I can't remember if it was 6 months or 9 months. I would have to go back and look. It feels like it was forever, to be perfectly honest, because and it was exactly what you said, Leslie. Like it was just every day, it seemed like my brain was braining more than it did the day before. And I was like, okay, where are we going with this? And it was like, it just kind of got harder and harder for me to kind of just keep myself in check, keep the brain in check and all that kind of stuff. So by the time I came back to the next group, I was like, I need to be up in here. Like I need to be here because the brain is doing too much and is thinking too many ways on the wrong side of the whole process. It was interesting, though. I'm glad I had that time frame to really give myself the moment to look and see, like, okay, I haven't had coaching in a little while, and I see where it's taken me. And it wasn't exactly pretty. I'm glad I came back to the second round of group coaching because I needed it.
Yeah.
I also have my head more on straight. Like, I don't know who's heard any of my other podcasts with Heather, but like, I expected her to just fix me.
Oh,
I expected it to
Tell
just
you what
be
to
like,
do.
I'm just going to do the book. I'm going to do the thing she tells me to, and everything's going to be fine. And so when I came back to the second round of coaching, I was like, okay, here I really am. And I'm actually here to pay attention and actually do my shit instead of just expecting her to fix me. So that was huge for me.
That's huge. That's massive. Yeah.
Thanks for joining me today. My mission is to help every MFR therapist become a part of the movement where no MFR therapists ever under-earn or burn out. Join my 12-month coaching program. You'll spend the first 90 days setting up your foundation to create your six-figure business. Then you'll go to work and uncover exactly what's holding you back from the business that you want and desire. Get support while you raise your rates, set your policies, and learn how to talk about MFR and how to sell MFR in service of your clients. Learn exactly how you can do it too, even if you live in a tiny town and even if you've had your business for years. This program is open to all MFR therapists who want to create what is possible when you stop playing small and start showing up in your full power as the John Barnes trained MFR therapist you are. Put your magic to work in the world and help more people get out of pain and back to active lifestyles. I'll help you do it. Go to www.themfrcoach.com/coaching and sign up right now.